Okay, and I'm back from a quick break. Now I got my tea and my chocolate and some water. Uh, Now we need to make the backpack and make sure that the player, gets rid of the backpack and then they put the knapsack, the backpack down and then pick it back up, etc. Okay, so let's go ahead and put this aside and bring this up. Okay, so what do we have going on here? Okay, on key down, they set their backpack down, and unless it's not out. What is this? Oh, right. Yeah, that's right. I was putting all the backpacks in. Okay. So now we need to check if the player has that backpack. Any of those. Um, so in MATLAB, I know there's a way, or everything should be vectorized. But in Papyrus, I don't think there's any vector operation, so I think we just have to do this manually. So let's see. The key code is correct, and only if the key code is correct. We want to see if the player has a backpack. Oh, another thing to think about when you do this too is how much script latency you're going to have by doing things like calculations and checking and instantiating things and blah blah blah. So if I could, I wouldn't actually do it in this key code or this key press. I would store that some other point in time. You can imagine I watch the player's inventory and I check for ins and outs and blah blah blah. But in this case, this is going to be most reliable. And I think check. I don't know why I keep clicking that. Checking the player's inventory for any of those, I don't think is that tough. On the CPU or the GPU. So I think we're just going to do it that way. So so we're going to go int loop index equals 0. Papyrus is a 0 indexed coding language. So loop index that while loop index is less than, I think all forms have a, function called length. We should double check that though. End if, or end while. Okay. Let's find out if that's actually true. I don't know if it'd even be in. No, I'm not even looking in the right spot. And we're in SKSE. Yeah, I still think that's true, but let's find out. Skyrim creation kit Papyrus array length. Okay. Oh, there it is. Okay. Oh, it's just a property. Interesting. Good thing I checked. That's why it's good to check. Okay. Okay, so while loop index is less than all backpack lengths, we're going to do this, except I'm always going to remember to increase our index. Too many times coding, and you're like, wait, why isn't anything working? And you've made an infinite loop, which is really bad. By the way, yeah, when you do a loop, never make a never-ending loop. Always make something that has a deterministic ending. So in this case, this continually increases up until it reaches this length. If it starts at 0, it just instantly skips it, because 0 is not less than 0. Or sorry, if the size of this is 0, this is 0, so 0 is not less than 0, it immediately skips it. Anyway, that obviously is just really bad, and that's gonna bog everyone down. And like if you had an infinite loop here, people kept pressing the key like, hey, what's going on? You have like all these different, or actually I don't think those even work. I think it just literally is stuck there forever. So don't do that. Oh, I can get rid of that. Oops, not cancel. Okay. So that's good. Oh, you know what I should do? Oh, I need to actually check it. So how do I want to do this? if, maybe I'll do another if loop outside of this. That's kind of ugly, but whatever. Let's just do that. I can fix it up later. So if all backpacks at, and I think it has this syntax, loop index, does that return an object reference? What does that return? That's this one. Get something, get item, get num, no. Get item count. Oh, right. Okay, cool. Yeah, it just returns an integer. Oh, so I'm writing that all wrong. Okay. Let's try this again. If that with oh man, that is just all messed up. Okay. All backpacks at the loop index as form. That ends there. And that could be there. Okay. Is greater than 0. We can do all this great stuff. And since we're going to be smart about this, if that backpack is greater than 0, then we're going to record what that loop index is. Oh, crap. Okay, another thing we have to worry about is obviously we only want to check that if their backpack isn't out. Oh, right, that's all you do. Okay. So we're not doing this in its own. Because if the backpack is out, well, obviously it's not going to be in their inventory. Okay. And where did I get? Okay, there we go. You know, we can speed this up too. So you're going to keep looping through here. Oh, that's why I put it out there. That's annoying. Oh, I need to put this. Shoot. That's annoying. Sorry, the way I made this before, I actually just had one backpack. This is one of the things where it's just like, oh, I just want a brown backpack because that's what my character is using. So I did not think about the exact details on how to loop through this. Because the issue here is I'm going to be checking this like 20 times or 30 times or however many times. Yeah, like 30 times. And each time I'm going to be like, oh, if this and this. But I can't do these separately, I don't think. Because I guess if the backpack was out. Okay, yeah, we can do that. So I guess what I can do instead is reorganize this to be, oh, if the backpack is out, just pick it up. Otherwise, you're going to have to loop through here to see if you have it in your inventory. Yeah, so let's reverse this. Here's a really cool thing with Notepad++. If you do this, you can do vertical editing. Ooh, how nifty. Boop! Now all that's commented. Okay. So if backpack out, do some fun stuff. Else, do some not so fun stuff. Okay. So the backpack is out. Well, now it's not going to be out because we're going to pick it up by then picking it up. Oh, and I guess we can do this right now too. Oh, right. Okay, so which backpack are we picking up? There's a lot of different backpacks. So what I was going to do is save this loop index as the thing that tells you which backpack you're picking up. but we need to make that a property so that we can attain it later. Oh, actually, it doesn't need to be a property. It can be just outside of all of these functions. So we go int which backpack, and the first time we find that, let's go and write ourselves a note to do determine which backpack is players. So when I go back up to this function right here, where it's like looping through all your backpacks to find one to set down, we're going to save which backpack that was as this integer. And then here, I'm going to assume right now that we can, assume the existence that's already been set. Actually, not that it makes a big difference, because it shouldn't ever have an issue the way I'm about to write it, but we'll set it to 0. Okay, let me make sure. Okay, I'm recording. Cool. All right, so hey, someone's watching. Cool. What was I saying? All right, so now we need to add that backpack back to the player. So we go player ref dot add item. Oops. And Notepad's already nice and does that for me. So okay, all backpacks at the index. Which backpack? Is that already? No. Okay. Let's just clean this up a little. Okay. So add item, and there's a way of doing this silently, which I am going to do actually. The idea being that, if you pick it up and you put it on your back, I don't want it to bog down your notifications by saying, oh, you just added this. And you're like, yeah, I know, it's attached to me. Let's do this. We'll go back here. What am I looking to do? I'm looking to add an item to the player. So it's being called on an actor. So actor. Add. Oh, but you can do it on a object reference too, like a chest. So add item. There we go. The count, and if it's silent. So count, we're going to put 1, and the silent, we're going to put true. Cool. So now it adds that back to the player. So now we'll do the other part. So if the backpack is not out, well, now we have to go through and we have to loop through everything. So now we do this part, the while and the int and all of this jazz. And much like ending my whiles, or like ending everything before I start writing anything else, I tend to do this too. I just instantly start incrementing that so I don't forget to do it. Okay, so while that's less than that, let's steal from our code up here. If, and we won't have to check that anymore, so that's cool. If the player has it, if they have the backpack at that loop index, then we are going to say backpack out is true. We're going to set it down. And much like here, we're going to remove it from our inventory. I think this has the exact same syntax as add item, but let's go ahead and double check. It's always a good idea. Oh, do I have 2 of these open? That would be really smart. I do. Okay. Let's put this one over here. Sorry. And keep this one open over here. Yeah, so remove item. Remove item. Form to remove count silent. Oh. Oh, cool. And you can put it in the other container. We don't need to put anything in another container, right? Yeah, we are going to do that with like the axe and the tent and everything, but we don't need to do that right now. Let's close all these. We'll leave those two open. They're useful. Okay. All of those were optional too. So you might go, oh, shouldn't you write comma blank blank? But no, you can just leave it like that, I think. Cool. So now let's get rid of this junk. Let's get rid of that junk. Now it's much prettier. Maybe I'll space this out and write comments later. It'd be good practice. I think that was this one, but we can compile both. Yeah, whatever. Cool. Everything's working. Did I add any properties? I don't remember. So we will just double check. You can just double click it. Right. I added a ton of properties, but I already did that. And how about the other one? Nothing. Cool. All right, time to test this out. Oh, here's something fun. So right now I'm gonna have to go in the game. I'm gonna have to go find a backpack. And if I'm gonna test this out with, say, a few random backpacks, that's gonna be kind of annoying to go find a few and, like, you know, go craft them, whatever. So what I can do instead is obviously console myself in the backpacks. That's what the console's for. But even better than that is I can write a batch file, which kind of does this for me. So the way that works, so I'm gonna go new. I'll just write a comment here using the same syntax as Papyrus, say backpack containers batch file. And we can save that. Go into your data directory, I think. Or no, maybe it's one more up. Go into your Skyrim directory. That's right. And I'm just going to call this BC, something really quick to type. And you can even save it as a text. You can also choose not to save it with a file name extension, but it can be a text. That's fine. Oh, right. There it is. I already made one of these prior, but we're going to replace it. Okay, so then what I can do is player.add item. It'll be different syntax. This is console syntax, not Papyrus syntax, so it's similar, but not completely similar. So this one right here. So I want to do XX. I'll tell you what that means in a sec. 0 to C, 261, and I want one of them. So I'm telling myself I want this backpack black. These two we'll talk about in a second. 0 2 C2 61. So I want a black backpack. The first two numbers there refer to which part of the load order it's in. So right now, mine's the 6th in line. The first one is Skyrim, then it's Dawnguard, then Hearthfire, then Dragonborn, then blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to put 06 where I put XX here. You might go, well, what the heck is a 02 then? This is, and hopefully I don't mess things up. This was, why is that 0? Oh, right, yeah. Because I think it doesn't count, or this is 00, 01, 02 in that regard. Okay, so let's go ahead and test this out. Let me bring this up. Oh, shoot, I just closed that. Give me half a second. Actually, let's start this real quick. Okay, cool. Yeah, looks like everything's speedy enough. And now it's a well-deserved drink of tea. Okay. Oops. Oh, I'm not even over there. Cool. So, oh, and I didn't tell the player they don't have one yet, so nothing's gonna happen yet I need to make sure I inform the player in like the notifications up here that like, oh, you don't have a backpack, you can't put one down. Okay, so now I can go that easy. Yep. Except I didn't save it, so give me half a second. Silly goose. No business goose. Okay. That easy. There we go. Yay! Now I have a black fur backpack. Look at that. Oh, it's so pretty. Now, this is going to be a knapsack, not a black backpack, but hooray! Now, it should be in my inventory again. I'll put it down. Now it's not in my inventory. Cool. So that seems to be working. And it's the right... Wow, that is so choppy. Okay. Now it's got weapons in it. Pick it up. Look at that. There it is. I set it down. Now it's gone. And the stuff's still in there. Alright, now it's almost functional. Okay. Oh, I should have checked that with more. We'll do that next. We'll do that later. Or like, let's just copy this a couple times. Let's give ourselves maybe a brown Akatosh. I'm just randomly checking here. 02D8. D8. 1D. Oops, 1D. And what about here? Let's grab a white Talos. 02D8 2D. Cool. Okay, that'll give us a few backpacks next time, and we just throw a few on the ground, and then, yeah. Okay, before we start making the backpack look pretty, let's go ahead and do something else real quick. One thing that was bothering me, so one thing I wanted to do is you can actually force the player to equip something and not allow them to unequip it, and we're totally going to do that with this backpack, because the idea is, like I mentioned previously, like, oh, you put the backpack on and you put it down. You don't randomly put backpacks in your pocket the same way you do iron and armor and swords, right? So, no, actually, let's keep that over here. How do I find this? So there's probably an actor ability to equip something. So it's probably called equip. Equip item, there we go. Prevent removal and silent. So not only are we going to add it to their inventory silently, we're going to force them to equip it and not let them take it off. Unless they click the button that then puts it on the ground again. Okay, so I'm going to write a comment here. Picking bag up. Oops. Putting bag down, just so I remember which is which. And we'll go ahead and do that. Okay. Now it's sort of segregated nicer. So when I'm picking the bag up, I want the player ref to equip the item. Which item? I want them to pick up this one. Oh, you know what I'm not doing? I told myself I was going to do it, but then I didn't. The only reason that it worked is, see, this is why I should have tested it with multiple backpacks. I'm telling him to remove only the black backpack. And I didn't even set that correctly. That's silly. Okay. But all we need to do is this. Which backpack equals loop index? So it says, oh, wherever it is you found the backpack that the player has, that's the one that you're going to remove from the inventory and set down. We'll have to worry about that here soon. But then when you pick it up, which backpack has already been set, so it picks up the correct backpack. Now, one thing that I think is fine is the order matters. So if you are carrying a black and a brown backpack, you're obviously going to pick up the black one first and put down the black one first. I don't care. You shouldn't be carrying around several backpacks. And if you are, you shouldn't be picky about which one gets set down. Okay. Okay, so that's set. And then it equips. We are going to prevent removal. And we are going to make it silent. Cool. One thing I'm also going to do, I don't actually know if this is important, but I like to do it anyway, is instead of just removing it while they're forced to equip it, I'm first going to unequip it and then remove it. I'm pretty sure it doesn't matter, but there's a small probability that it does. I don't know. Unequip item. Prevent equip. Oh, interesting. Probably want to remove that because I don't think it will matter. But yeah, we're gonna turn that silent. Actually, it's really important we turn that silent because I think if you were to drop a backpack, then get a different backpack from somewhere else, that you would never be able to equip it. Maybe. Wait, is that an object reference? No, it's a form. Okay, fair enough. Okie dokie. So that unequips, that equips. Is that what we were gonna check before we moved on to making the item? I could set. Oh, you know what I'm doing? I'm doing this kind of in the wrong spot, aren't I? It's debatable if that's a player action or not. How did I do it prior? Yeah. Okay. Makes a lot more sense to do it here. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna be annoying and I'm gonna switch this. So what I'm basically going to do is I'm just going to transfer this check and this check over into the functions that we wrote specifically to do these things. This actually won't be too hard, I think, because those are those. That's being brought over. That'll be brought over. Oh yeah, and then I can just call that, which this will check it. Okay, cool. So we're going to remove this. Oh no, I'm gonna have to instantiate all of those again. Oh, that's annoying. Huh, is there a smarter way of doing this? Do I want to just check that here? Ooh, and then I could just send which backpack that is. Oh, yeah. Okay, no, this is smarter. Okay, this will work. All right. First easy thing to do is we're going to make an armor property here. And this is going to get filled if it finds the right backpack. It's going to say, oh, this is your current backpack, and then you can pick it up and set it down and do stuff with it. So, is your backpack out? If it is, we're going to pick it up. By doing that, we're going to move this to the actual pickup. And actually, we're going to do this in this order. Might go, oh, the order shouldn't matter, and it really shouldn't. But I would like to err on the side of the player not losing all of their items. So we're going to add it back to them, although it's not that big a deal. Anyway, so, but they're not picking up that array anymore. They're going to pick up this, their current backpack. Yep, cool. So, and this is going to be so sparse that I don't think that's important anymore. Okay, here it's going to go, okay, we're going to check still if you have that backpack. And if you do, well, the backpack out's going to be true, but more importantly is we're going to, yet again, go into the quest and then cast the script so we can have access to these. We're going to say your current backpack is equal to this guy. I don't think we need to save this anymore, but I'm going to anyway in the event that it becomes useful. Then you set your backpack down, and that's it. Done. Done on a bun. Oh, and let me put this here real quick. Enables, and only then does it unequip. Okay. I'll fix that here in a second. One other thing I'd like to do, technically, if you've already found the backpack, you shouldn't have to like finish this loop. So what we're going to do is in the if you found it, loop index will equal wherever the length is, right there. That's the second time we've called it. Might be worth casting. Int num backpacks. So while the loop index is less than the number of backpacks. Oh, look, we found one. So the loop index is the backpack. Oh, I should have done it after that. Okay. Well, whatever. It's not like it matters, but I'm going to do -1 because then it gets +1 and then it's number back. Whatever. Okay. Let's make sure this compiles first. Before we get too crazy. Oh, it's not going to, because I need to fix the other script real quick. Fun fact, when you compile these, if they have a dependency on a different script, like mine does, it will also compile the other script, and the other script I know is going to fail. Oh, I keep doing that. Because of this right here. There is no all backpacks here. It's only current backpack. Okay, now it might compile. It has a small chance of working. Hooray! Hooray! It should have already compiled, but I always overdo it just to make sure. Okay, and we did add new properties. Current backpack, luckily, is none, because we don't start off with a backpack. And if we do, then, you know, it'll be fine anyway. And there's nothing added there, so good. We did change properties, so there we go. All right, we're going to test it again one more time before we move on. And there we go. And yet again, well-earned tea. Oh, I just saw your question, Foxify. Hopefully you're still there. Give me a second. I need to figure out this dang-fangled technology. Wait, how do I... channel, there we go. Oh, well, of course that doesn't work. Are you still there, Foxify? Okay, cool. Yeah, so the I'll go ahead and start while I talk. Hey, I'm excited to see someone watching this. So the backpack is not a form list, I think. Let me make sure I understand what is meant by form list. Oh, I should probably do, yeah, there we go. Yeah. So no. Yeah, so the backpack instead. I guess you could do a form list. That would probably be smarter, actually. That would probably be a lot smarter, because yeah, then you can just check it against the form list. Right now, all I did is I built it. Yeah, let's go to it. Where is it? Oh yeah, right there. So all I did is I built an armor array, and then I filled that manually. That's why your form list idea probably would have been better. Oops, not that. I don't want to edit it. By going in here, and then just manually adding all the different campfire backpacks. And then, yeah, you just do like add, and then you pick your object, and then there it is. Yeah, let me write that down, actually. That's probably a better... Oh, wait. Just kidding. Shoot. I probably should have guessed all. Oh, wow. Okay, cool. Yeah, I just got your other message. Yeah, that would have been much smarter. What, wait, were you the one who, let me go back to, the mods real quick. Sorry, the Reddit, Skyrim mods. Are you the one who's doing the additional backpacks? I saw a post earlier about someone who was like, oh, I'm gonna add maybe some more backpacks. Ah, cool. Right on. Yeah, that's awesome. If you end up doing that, and you want, I'm totally happy to add whatever backpacks you add to that, then onto this mod too, and then people can set this down too. If you, oh yeah, cool. Thanks. Yeah. So I forget on your post, did you specify? Like, if you're gonna still do the adding of the axe and the tent and all of that stuff. I remember someone mentioned something about like, oh, there's this other mod that had all the stuff attached. Yeah, go ahead and answer that while I do this. Yeah, let's see. Okay, now I've got a whole bunch of different backpacks. Cool. And actually, I am still able to unequip that because it wasn't done by script yet. So let's actually drop this one just to make sure. We won't use that one. Okay, so now when I set it on the ground, there's my knapsack. Now when I pick it up, it's going to force equip. Ah, it's force equipping. Oh, the right one. Okay, cool. Set it down. Put something in it. Pick it up. Can't unequip it. I can only unequip it by setting it down. Cool. That appears to be working. And more importantly, how can I do that? How can I do this? What is that? That's funny. Yeah. Okay. So it just forces it. Okay. Cool. Yeah, Foxfi, if you're still there, I would be totally happy to add whatever backpacks you make to this. If you do like form list or something, that might be a great way of going about it. But even if you don't, I can just add it. I keep doing that. To this backpack array list. And then if you end up sticking around, which, you know, feel free to do whatever, I'm now going to make some statics. So in order to make this like not be pushed around, then I'm going to just take each of those backpacks. I'm not sure if I'm going to do all 32, but I'll definitely do the different colors. Probably do all 32. turn those into statics, put the axe and the tent and whatnot as statics, and then we're going to do all the visuals for those. Oh, I just saw your other post. Let's see if you want to check it out. My progress tonight. Did it get... Cool. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I'll probably have to add like a couple statics, but I'm totally happy to add that. And then these two can combine together. Was it a new post? Must be. Oh, no. Yep, you got an edit here. A little progress. Ooh, nice. Oh, that looks really good. Oh, that's super cool. I really dig it. I guess I can move this over here. Oops. Yeah, there we go. Is that recording? Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, that looks really good. I really like that. I like how you move those around too. Let's see. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I'd also love to make them compatible. We should keep in contact. I'm gonna wait. How should I do this? Do you have a Nexus? Oh, where am I? Sorry, I'm getting lost in my menus. Do you have like a? I guess maybe an email. Do you have an email that you'd want to use, or I can put mine? And then basically what I'm thinking is we can let one another know when one of the mods is done. Okay. While you're writing, I guess I'll jump back to this. Okay, cool. I will go ahead and email you when I'm done, or you can, or what I'll do is I'll email you super soon, and then when you finish yours, then you'll have my email, and you can let me know, and then I can go download it and do the same thing I'm doing with this one, where I'm using the Campfire resources, but requiring that people still download that mod, obviously. And cool, yeah, thanks. Yeah, and so all I'll do is then I'll add the few statics that I need to add, and then put it onto that array, or make a form list or something, or if you've already added yours to the form list. And then I think I just need a patch with that, and then I'll put that on, and they should work together. So I will keep going with this little tutorial. You can stick around if you'd like, or feel free to take off. No need. Where am I now? Oh yeah, I was gonna make some statics now. So one thing we're having a problem with is the thing that I'm putting down is not the thing that was on my back. And so I'm gonna cheat a little. I'm not gonna actually make the container the same thing as the object that you're looking at. Instead, the object that you're gonna be looking at is just gonna be like this hollow thing that you can walk through. So let's go ahead and make a new thing. Oh, I haven't made one. Right. Okay. So we're gonna go new in our statics. I'm gonna call this backpack containers, and then we'll call it backpack black. We'll just try it with the black one first. And this is going to be a static. Okay, so now I'm actually just going to click yes there because I need to figure out where the model is. So if I go to the armor and I go to the black backpack, there is a world model here that I'm going to use. And Foxify, this is actually the same thing I would do with yours. I would go require other people to have your model, so they'd have to go download your mod. And all I'm saying is, like, assuming that path exists, let this load. I'm going to assume that path exists, and if it does, there it is. It will load up and everything will be fine. Except that's the wrong one. I want camp backpack. Oh, what is this? There's actually two of them. I've done this before. Yeah, so there's like strap G&D ground, so it's laying on the ground, versus just strap, and I think I want that one. Yeah, that's the one I want. Okay, cool. But I said I wanted black. And what I can do here is they were smart enough that, you know, you make a NIF and it has various textures on it, or, you know, it has a capability to have various textures, and you can switch them out without having to make a new NIF. So I go over here and, oh, look, there's a black texture for backpacks. Hooray! So there's our black backpack static. Okay. And do I want to make all these now? I guess I could always fast forward it. But well, let's move on for now. Okay, let's make the axe and stuff. So I'm going to duplicate this a couple times. So that'll be our axe. That'll be our tent. This will be our cooking pot. One thing, the design choice that I'm making is the torch and the water skin. I've decided are always going to stay with the player. The idea being that, you know, I bind my torch at least to my hotkey, and I like the ability of, like, oh, I could put my backpack down but still have my torch. So I'm not actually going to move that with the backpack. I'm going to keep that in the player's inventory. The other thing, the water skin, I don't actually have any of the realistic needs or I need or any of those loaded up here. So I actually don't have the water skin, the ability to detect if the water skin model's in your inventory. So we're just going to do the other three. The axe. Oh, I actually need to go find those models first. The axe, the tent, etc. So those are, funny enough, in the magic effect. It actually makes sense once you think about it. The Cheska's scripts basically go like, oh, do you have this in your inventory? Oh, if so, go ahead and add this magic effect, which gives you this hit effect art right here. What is a hit effect art? Oh, it's literally the model. Okay. So we're going to steal that model. Well, not steal it, but you know what I mean. And go back down to our static. And we're going to call this, we'll call this axe, backpack axe. Why not? No, yes, as always. And change this to be that. Okay, now there's the axe. What's also cool is this has already been oriented. So if we instantiate it at the exact same spot we instantiate the backpack itself, everything will be aligned already. Okay, so let's go ahead and finish this up with the tent and the pot. Right, I should keep that open. And I should keep that closed. Okay. So let's do cookie pot. Oh, you know what I could do? Turn this on. I forgot about that. That's annoying. We can turn it off. I think I grabbed cooking pot. it is. Already in position. Save, always save, save often. Okay, and the tent. Okay. There it is. Hooray. Okay, now we have those. Let's see. Yeah, let's go ahead and load those into the world. So we'll keep that closed, we'll keep that open. Okay. Now we go back to our scripts. So on the key down, we don't want to do anything other than call other functions to do the things we want them to do. So I'm going to say in the set backpack down, we should... Is that what I want to do? Oh, let's check my cheat sheet. Oh, right, that's what I did. Oh, that's smart. Right. Okay. All right, let's start with the setting the backpack down. I decided to make yet another function just to keep things clean. Called, I think, set auxiliary items down. And this goes through all the different checks. Oops. That would sort of clog that up at the expense of, just having another function that you have to scroll down to. Is that what I have? No. Okay. Okay, now we're going to load in all of our properties. So we have static property. I'm going to do the same thing as before, where... Ooh, that's where it could have been really smart to save that index. Luckily, I already did. Okay, cool. Nope, not that one. This one. We can load in the player alias, or we can move that over here. Let's move that over here. Because I don't think I'll ever need to know which backpack is which in this script. Yeah, okay. Let's do that. That also requires me turning it into a property, though. Int property, which backpack? Right? Is that what I want to call it? Yeah, which backpack? Okay. And we're not going to instantiate it there because it's a property. Okay. So I'm going to get rid of that. And where it was down here, I'm now going to set it over there. So now this I can see over here. The reason I did that is now I can do, and I should move this just so it's not interfering with everything. Okay, is also do the exact same array here, right here for the different backpacks that are going to exist. So we'll call this, I don't know, we'll call it static backpacks. Okay. And that is also, wait, where did I, oh, I did that over here. Whatever, okay. That works. Oh, that's annoying. Maybe I should have done it over here. Yeah, okay. I should have done it over there. per current static backpack. We're going to get rid of the winch backpack. We're going to put it here. Okay. So now, instead of giving them that, we're going to instead give them the actual backpack static itself. Oh, that might not be the right spot. Okay, so that is picking it up. That's putting it down. No, that should work. Okay, cool. We will use that loop index later. For now, I'm just going to load, because I only have one static backpack, I'm just going to load the one. Which backpack is players? I think I already did that, right? I think that was that. Okay, sorry. Anyway, now change current static backpack to actually use loop number when statics are made. Okay, cool. Now we have a current static backpack. In our set auxiliary items down, we can, oh, here's another design choice. Let's see if I'm, yeah. Here's another design choice. Do we decide to, the same way we did with the knapsack, do we disable it and just make one, and then just keep enabling and disabling, or do we keep instantiating new backpacks each time? That is, do I go, oh, move to player this backpack, or do I go place at me this backpack? And I'm gonna say that we should probably, it's a tough one because I'm gonna have to load every single backpack into the game world as an object reference. So maybe we'll make the backpack. I need to read up on whether or not the how that affects memory. If I make an object reference somewhere and then I delete it, does that get stuck in the memory anyway? Is that persistent? I don't actually know. I almost want to say it is, even though that seems like it shouldn't make sense. You go, oh, didn't you delete it from the world? But I'll have to read up on that. So I guess I should put this here. To do determine if you should sorry, I'm thinking about three different things. Determine if you should either place at me statics or enable disable. Okay, I will worry about that later, and for now we will just decide to place at me and destroy, disable and destroy. Okay, so when you set your auxiliary items down, well, the first thing you're going to set down is your current static backpack. Place at me, and I forget what those are for, so let's look them up again. Oh, right, that's in object reference. Place at me. Wait, what on earth? Oh, there was more. Okay, let's see. Oh, right. If it's persistent, oh, so maybe I can make that false. It is normally false, and we don't want to disable it. So, ooh, that makes me think we can totally just make and destroy these. So, okay, cool. So, I need to call that something else, though. Let's call that... I need to keep it Do I? Let's check my cheat sheet. This is in set auxiliary items down. Oh yeah, and I go through all of those. That is crazy. That was silly of me. Remove item, update. Oh yeah, this was kind of weird. Oh, this is also unnecessary. There was some reason I decided to disentangle further the setting of the auxiliary items down to checking if you're setting the auxiliary items down and making yet another function, and I'll tell you why this is here in a second, called update auxiliary items down. And the idea being that if I'm going to remove things, you know, take things from my backpack and put things into my backpack, I need to update the 3D model in the real world. So, like, let's say I put my backpack down and there's a tent and a axe on it, and I open my backpack and I grab my axe. I need to update that in the real world, even though I'm not, you know, picking anything up. I'm not setting any items down. I just need to update those items. And so, what I can do with the set auxiliary items down, at least, is this. Maybe I should call it something different, actually. I'll worry about that later. This right here needs to basically just check, like, oh, do I put a tent down? Do I put a axe down, etc. And then this update is actually going to do that. Okay, so we're going to make 3 bools that check for that. Bool has tent, or actually has axe equals false. I don't think I need to do that, but we will. Bool has cooking pot equals false. Bool has tent equals false. Cool. So, in the set auxiliary items down, I'm going to move this real quick. And we're going to comment it out because we'll deal with it later. This right here, we're going to check for, say, an axe first. Which means I need to know what an axe is. So weapon, property. I need to interface that with the CK. I always forget what it's called too. It's like wood chopping axe in this version. Oh, oops. I always get confused. There's a change of names when you play Requiem. Woodcutter's axe. That's right. And it's just axe 01. Cool. Oh, I just saw your other thing. So not certain seems like I read deleted items don't get removed until set is reset. Oh, okay. Yeah. Don't get moved. Yeah, I'd believe that. Which could be an issue with Requiem. I don't know if you've ever played that, but Requiem changes the cell reset to something really pathological, like 300 in-game days or something, which I actually really like. But yeah, because of that, that could be an issue. Right now, I'm not going to worry about it. I'll just do research later and see if that's the case. And if so, then basically I'll just end up going through here, and anywhere that, so I do this place at me, I'm going to do a disable and delete for all of those. instead of doing that, I'll just disable and change playset me to move to, and that'll be fine. Just like I did with wherever this one, move to enables and disables, rather than playset me's and disables and deletes. Okay. Let's see. What was I doing? I was setting auxiliary. Oh, right. And I was trying to figure out those names. Yep. So auto. And you know what? Just so I don't have to keep doing this, let's find all of these. There's a miscellaneous item called a cooking pot, and it looks like that. And that's the only one, luckily. Oops. Ooh, in the tent, we're gonna need a tent array because there's a million tents. Okay. That is also a miss object. Notice, just kind of annoyingly, this is called a miss object in Papyrus, even though here it's called a miss item. Just something to keep in mind. Oops. I keep doing it. So what am I doing? Oh, yeah. Did I? Yeah, so we're going to call this an array. I bet there's a formless way of doing this too, but I'm just going to keep sticking with this way, and maybe in an update I'll do formless, because I think formless are faster, but I'm also slightly less familiar with them. And we're going to call this tent. We'll just call it tents. Why not? Tent misc objects. I should be more consistent with my naming, but whatever. Okay. So, set auxiliary items down. We're going to check if player ref dot, well, what was it again? Has item or something? Get item count, right? Of this as form, I think. You do cast it as a form. Yep, okay. Is greater than 0. Then we're going to say has an X. When do I set those to be false? Maybe when I pick everything up. Time to consult cheat sheet. Yep. Okay. So actually, let's do that simultaneously so we don't forget. So we just go if has X and if, and then has X equals false. And we'll call that when we pick everything back up. Actually, we can just call that right now so we can forget about it. Cool. Yep. Alright, now let's do that with the cooking pot. This last one, it's always a good idea when programming, I'm told, to put all of your variable initialization on top, even though we now just need it. Okay, so integer loop index equals 0. So while loop index is less than tent misc objects dot length, we end our while. We also remember to increment. Cool. Oh, you know what? It is time for tea. Okay. So, now we do our if. So if, actually, let's just copy this now. Now has this one, but explicitly the loop index version has tent equals true. Loop index equals up, and we're using this twice, so I guess we can give it a variable. Int num tents. Yeah, we don't need to. Oh wait, I just do it up here. Man, I am getting tunnel vision. Just been doing this verbally for too long. Index equals that minus 1. Okay, just so we're not looping forever, or looping for too long. Okay, so at the end of all of that, we set all those variables true. We then update what's actually down. Okay, so now if that's not what I want. If has x and if I set my auxiliary items down. Okay, there it is. Cool. We're going to need to play with that soon, but we'll do that soon. Okay. If I has x... Oh, we should also do this before we do that. Okay. Yep. Bueno. I think I literally just update again. Let's double check. Oh yeah, I should probably do that too, huh? Interesting. Sorry, I was looking at my scripts, the ones that I'd previously written. So when I enable and I disable the different objects, I actually wrote them as properties. So these are now going to be persistent, but I think they're going to be the only ones because I keep putting new tents and new axes and whatever back into them. So I think this actually effectively deletes them. Give me a second. still here, just making tea. Oh yeah, and I think, oh, this is maybe smarter. Not sure, but oops. If I make a tent, sorry, a backpack. We'll call that OBJ as well. That I can put different backpack statics into that and then disable and delete them. And then put new ones back into that same property. And that might, although I might just lose the ID, I'm not sure. Okay, now I'm back. All right. What was I doing? Update. So I'm determining if I have a tent. Whatever, setting those true, setting those false. Each time I'm updating, and then the updating says just if you set that. Actually, I'll just show everyone my other script. Yeah, so here was the old script that I have right here. So it one thing I realize we need to do is wait, what? Why is it picking up if I'm removing the item? Oh, duh. No. Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, so what I did is, in addition to setting the objects down, I need to remove, like, the axe and the cooking pot from their inventory, from the player's inventory, and then put it into the, in this case, my original one was in a knapsack, but now we're putting it into a backpack. And then, yeah, and then there's also this update thing that says, oh, just at any point, if this has 10 or has axe or has pot ends up being false, then we are going, oh, is that true? I think that's true. Let's find out. Okay, so on item removed. Yeah, I set it to false. I disable and delete. On item added. Oh, okay, yeah. So what I did here is, we're going to do this soon, is with the auxiliary items, I actually connect a script to my backpack that says, oh, if you have anything removed from it or anything added to it, in the form of only tents, the cooking pot, and the axe, we're going to do various things to the 3D models in real life. And, you know, if we're removing them, we're just going to disable and delete those 3D models. If we're adding them, then we're going to update the auxiliary items down, which is back down here. So this thing right here. So we're going to copy that, or we're going to use that formulation there. So for now, update auxiliary items down. So if has axe, then, and I'm just going to paste this in because I'm lazy. That's not a thing in here anymore, is it? What did I call that? Player backpack container, I think is what I called that. Or did I call it static? I think I called okay, sorry, let me find out. Oh no, that was the other one. Okay. Okay. Let's do this. Let's back up for a sec. Let's go ahead and just make sure we put our backpack in the place of the knapsack. And then we'll worry about all the rest of this stuff later. Do I have any of these objections? So, boom, just get rid of those. That function will call, but it won't do anything. This does a whole bunch of math, but it doesn't matter because all I'm doing is setting booleans and variables. Those call them, but everything's okay. Okay, perfect. And this just does the backpack, the container. So when I do that, I also... Oh, and I should do this here too. Okay, so let's go ahead and replace the knapsack with the model. So backpack obj equals all of this good stuff. Except not that. It's instead going to be static, current static backpack. Yes. I haven't used that right. Yep. Okay. Wow, I forget what that means. Does anyone remember? Okay. Please at me. That is the one I'm looking at, right? Yeah, please at me. Okay. Count, persist, disabled. Maybe. Let's do this. Oops. Cool. Okay, this is going to load it into the ground, which doesn't actually bother me that much, although I guess we can just lift it. I've actually already got those numbers. I remember going into the game and sort of painstakingly like placing at me this model, figuring out how far it was from the ground, or like how much it was in the ground, and then changing the z value, and then, you know, rinse and repeat. But we're just gonna use those numbers I found so we can move quicker. Okay, so place at me, it's initially disabled. Backpack object. Okay, so then when I set my backpack down, not only am I moving the container, but now I'm moving the backpack. And then it unequips all of those. Cool. Then when I pick it up, I'm not only disabling the container, but I'm going to disable this too. Actually, I just need this. Yeah, let's delete 2. Well, no, I'm moving 2. Sorry, what I'm thinking about is what happens if you sort of in some sense get stuck with a certain backpack. You can't remove it, so you can't put it in a container, so the only thing you can do is set it down and then go get a new backpack, which I'll think of a way of dealing with later. But if you do that, then you're going to delete this backpack that you set down elsewhere, and you lose a backpack in the game. That's annoying. Okay, well, I'll just write that down as something to do. Okay. So, for the time being, I'll just disable, and then we'll keep moving, and then enabling. Or an enabler. Where's the enabling? There it is. Okay. Okay, so the move to function I thought was here. Yep. Okay. Lets you offset the movement. So not only do you have to move it to an actor, or yeah, you can also change its X, Y, and Z offset and match the rotation. So when we instantiate this, or I guess just move it, it's already instantiated, we are going to offset it. Do I want to do this at the moment, or do I want to do this after? Yeah, let's do it now. Although I'm going to cheat so we can go a little faster and just give you the functions rather than like opening up Chrome and blah, blah, blah. Okay, so when you set your backpack down, what you can do is you can get the player's rotation. So the player facing angle. This is going to be something that we're going to need to keep around. So, boom, there we go. Now it's outside of those functions if we can keep it around. Let's make sure no one's talking. Good. Okay, so where did I go? There it is. Okay, player facing angle, right there. So now, when I move to, I don't just have to move to the player and like, you know, suddenly pop into existence right under them so you're standing on your backpack. But instead, I can define a distance away from the player such that they set it down, they're always in front of them, and it's always angled correctly. So I'm going to actually increase it slightly, so 3062, so we'll say 48. So it's going to be some distance away from the player that the, oh, and this is my old thing with the knapsack, backpack set down distance. Okay. So right here. Okay. Okie dokie. So now I'm going to copy all of this, paste it for you to see, make sure I update this. That is the right one, right? Yep, okay. And so, okay, what this does is, oh shoot, I should probably explain that. So in Skyrim, you're in a left-handed coordinate system. And because of that, your x values, which is this first argument, needs to use a sine, not a cosine. And if you don't know trig, this is fine. Just copy what I'm writing here. And then your y, or they call it z, or do they? I don't remember. Is a cosine. This is the distance above the ground, so it was normally going to instantiate like in the middle of the ground. Now it's up the right amount. And why am I not making it face the player? Ah, that's why. So I don't match the rotation because then it's rotated the wrong way. I manually then set the rotation by the player's facing angle minus 90. Otherwise, it's like sideways from the player. Okay, so that looks good. Move to. Oh yeah, I should probably do that with the other one too. Otherwise, they're not going to be inside of each other. Okay. So backpack object. That was a backpack container. I think I can copy literally all of this. Like that. Let me see. Oh, that was a different number. Arr. Okie dokie. Oh, okay, yeah, no, this is all good. Okay, so oh right, that's what's going on. Okay, so sorry, I was looking at my math here, and the numbers didn't match up very well at all. And so I was kind of like, oh, why is that? And what I do is I'm in my old script here. I have the backpack container, moving to the player reference here. Then I move this backpack object to the player backpack container. From there, I define the sort of delta R away from it that it needs to go. What should I call this? Container backpack delta R. And I've just empirically determined 11.5 was good, although I think it needs to be slightly higher or lower, but we'll find out. And then used that value for all of these. That was the math that was getting me cut up. Oh, shoot. I want this. And this just happened to be 9 units up. Okay, and then the backpack object needs to be the same angle as the player, which I guess I could probably put true there, but I'll do that later maybe. Next thing is the knapsack is really big compared to the backpack, or my backpack container. So we're going to set its scale to 0.55. And then the backpack object, I think I put to 1.1. But apparently I put that as a property, and I don't know why, but I'm going to keep it that way. Probably just because some other function might need that scale, or it's easier to change, I don't know. Cool. Oh. Remember how we had to set actor owner in the beginning here? Apparently, that does not persist. So every time you set it down, set it down, it's a good idea to go ahead and update that. So set actor owner, player ref, get actor base. Okay. And then we unequip, we remove, enable, disable. Cool. Woo! All right. That is all of that. And I think, and we should probably remove the backpack object. So almost done. Then we can test it out. Oh, maybe container? No. Oh, did I already do that? Disable. Oh, yeah. We'll do that later, but we'll need to update the weight of the bag. Yep, okay. Looks good. We will now go ahead and test this out. So first thing we're going to do, we're probably going to have bugs, so... Okay. Which backpack is not a script, or is not a property? Player action quest. Okay. So it's saying that, oh, I should probably grab that line. Line 34. Line 34. Oh yeah. Which backpack is not... Why did I do that? Oh, I was gonna do that, right, and then I got rid of that. Okay, I think I can just delete that line. But we'll probably still have another error. Oh, no, just kidding. Cool. Now, we make sure our properties are filled. And this we will populate, but only with one thing. That. We will fix that later. And we have a ton of things to fill there. Most of these are nones, because they don't exist yet. Current static backpack, that's a none. Pod object, that's a none. This, I think we want as 1.1. Tent object hasn't been made. Tent miscellaneous objects. These we do need to fill with all the tents that are included in Campfire. Do 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 do. Yet again, this is where a form list probably is a better way to go, but you know, hindsight is 2020. Hay pile does not get included on that. Okay. Cool. I think that looks good. Yep. Cool. Oops, I didn't complete that, did I? Oh, I did. Cool. All right. Not that those are important yet, but they will be soon. All right, let's test. First, let me make sure no one said anything good. I have a band-aid on my index finger. It like makes typing really tough. Yeah, more excuses. Okay. Pressing a button doesn't do anything. That's good. Give ourselves some backpacks. We would normally boost road autos off the cliff. I don't need those two right now. Okay. Wow, so choppy. Okay. Place it. Alright, well, it placed the knapsack, but it did not place the backpack. Okay, that's fine. Well, I guess maybe it's not fine. Because that was the whole point of what we were doing. Alright, so I'm going to open my papyrus log again, which is somewhere, no, here. There we go. Yeah, here we go. One key down, player actions. Cannot move to on a none object. Okay. I mean, that makes sense. You're a very reasonable papyrus log. Where did you say that was? Line 25 of the player action script. Oh, right here. Wait, what? One key down. Oh, no, but it's in here. Okay. On line 70. Okay. Although it's probably down here, line 52, sure. Yep, can't move 2 on something that doesn't exist. Man, it's so hard to read this. Okay, let's do this. Okay, there's one. Can't move 2 on an object, line 34. I don't know what's going on. Maybe that pops up beforehand. That's a really weird way of doing it, if so. Line 25, let's try that one. No, something's weird. What's going on? Oh, I am, okay. Yep. That was not line 34, that was line 52. I swear I know what I'm doing. There we go. So it's saying the container is an object, which is weird, because that should be fine. And it was totally doing that. Oh, it's probably talking on that one. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. Oh, right. Okay, that makes a ton of sense. So, I can't instantiate a static that I haven't loaded. Remember, I set this to none. So it looks like I'm going to have to either instantiate every single backpack in the beginning, or instead of using the move 2s, use place at me's and then move 2s, and then instead of just disables and deletes, which I think I'm going to do. Okay. Man, this is turning out to be super long. Okay. So I can't do that there. That's fine. I can do it here. Initially disabled true. Okay. Current static backpack, which I need to set, which is set somewhere here. Current static backpack. Yep. So on the key down, before anything happens, I think. Where is it actually called? Current backpack. Okay, then set backpack. Yeah. So it's set first, then we set backpack down. Then uses it. So now there is something loaded into it. It's placed into that object reference. And then it's moved to, its angle is set, scale is set, and then it's, oh, well that's not right. One of these should be that. We need to enable both of them. Cool. And then instead of just disabling it, we will disable and delete. Okay, I think that should fix it. So let's go ahead and compile that. Hey, compiled. And I don't think I changed any properties, so, well, I guess we can double check. Yeah, nothing. Cool. Here we go. Here we go. probably update that script to get rid of all those other backpacks I don't need. Get rid of that one. Okay. Okay. Put it down. Hey, look at that. Black backpack. Boom. Boom. Okay. Pick it back up. There it is. Go back down. There it is. Yeah, see, okay. Knapsack is poking out slightly right there, but we can fix that later. Pick it up. It's on me. Cannot equip it. Put it back down. Okay. That looks like it's working. So now we could yeah, hey, thanks. Yeah. I think it's looking good on the placement and whatnot. Yeah, so now we can either do that with all backpacks, or we can choose to start putting the axe and the tent and everything on there. In which case, then it's almost done. Oh, you know what we do first is update the weight. That will be super fast and easy. Okay, so let's go back. Oh, yep. Oh, I can. Oh, and look, there's no warnings on my scripts. That's great. Let's get rid of that one. And let's get rid of that one. Well, okay, no, let's keep that one. And let's get rid of that one. Okay. So, yeah, let's update the weight. So, when you pick it back up, maybe that's a good time to update the weight. Oh, and that's why I did that. Okay, I'm going to move this down. Just here. Okay. So, yet again, just cheating here by looking at my cheat sheet, and you can look at it with me. Yeah, I update the weight before I add it back. That makes a ton of sense. That makes too much sense. Okay. So, update weight is apparently its own function in here. Yeah, okay. So let's make that function. I guess we can make it up here. Function. Update backpack weight. Cool. And we need to figure out what item we're updating the weight for. So form. You might go, oh, why not update the armor weight? I think the answer is that the update weight function works on a form and not an armor. Now, of course, you could always just cast it inside this update. Maybe I should cast it in there. Yeah, okay, let's do that. Armor. No, okay, that's why I was doing form. Okay, because I'm going to make this compatible for Requiem, and Requiem has this issue with updating weights of things. You can actually break your Requiem game doing this. So when you update a weight in Requiem, if something is connected to you while that weight is updated, your mass changes, but it doesn't update the weight, and then when you remove that item, it doesn't remove the right weight, so your mass sort of indefinitely changes. If anyone plays Requiem, they'll know what I mean. That's a big deal, because a lot of things like your stability and your movement speed and everything is related to your mass. So what I was going to do is have a quick check for Requiem that instead of updating the weight of your backpack, instead just gives you a separate item that has a different weight, and then that should completely fix everything. Because the other issue is putting on a heavy backpack changes your mass to the point where like you're like barely like cripply walking, you know. instead of running like you would be when all of those objects are just in your inventory. So I think I did form backpack item, so that when I do the Requiem compatibility, I can instead just send in a miscellaneous object rather than an armor. And since this works on a form in the first place, that's fine. Okay. So float. What is the current backpack weight? Well, I should give it a base weight, which I think was 5 pounds. I could let's find out. Armor. Backpack. I could query that, but I'm just going to hard code it in. I'll probably regret that decision later, but I'll at least set it as a variable. Why not? Float. Backpack. Oh man, I am inconsistent with my case. Backpack weight equals 5. Okay, so float, it's current item weight equals 0.0. Then we're going to go form. Why am I doing that? Sorry, I'm looking off my cheat sheet here. Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, I need to just build up these variables so that I can just keep reusing them. Let's just skip that, and then you can see when they're necessary. Okay, so int, what do I call that before? Loop index? Yeah, okay. Equals 0, while loop index is less than num items in backpack. We're going to end while. We're going to update loop index. We're never going to forget to update that loop index. And then here's how it works. So you might go, oh, how do I get that? I already have that for you. All you have to do is, except that's the wrong thing. That object reference is always in the world, and object reference has a function called getNumItems. It's a SKSE function, but that's cool. Cool. Alrighty. So now I have this loop that's going to loop through, and it's going to look at the weight of every single item, and it's going to add that to the current item weight. Then in the end, it's going to add that to the current backpack weight. There are some more functions. So the cur. Yeah. So when you query an object reference for something inside of it, it doesn't know what. Well, actually, it does, or maybe it doesn't. Sorry. Anyway, there's this function called getNthForm. I'll show you. Object reference getNthForm. So getNumItems SKSE function. getNthForm is also SKSE function. Oh well. Okay, yeah, that's why I didn't use it. That's cool though. That'd be awesome if it worked. Get total item weight, but I think that only maybe works on the player. Yeah, so what we're going to do is we say, oh, get the number of items. We're going to loop through it, and then we're going to look at the form of each one and say, what's your weight? Okay, add that. So, and then all you need is that index. So we need to instantiate that form that I was talking about. So form cur item form, and we'll call that none. I don't think you need to give it a value, but whatever. Cur item form equals, what did I call that? Player backpack container. Dot get nth form loop index. Okay. Oh, right. Yeah. And when I first did this, I just did that, you know, added it together, called it good, and it was totally wrong because you obviously need to get the total number of that item. So we need another integer up here. So int cur item total num equals 0. Again, don't actually need to give it a value, but whatever. So that's equal to, yet again, player backpack container dot get item count is another function. And it's of that form. So now we need another float, or no, maybe that's the perfect float. Yeah. Yeah, cur item weight equals the cur item form dot get weight, and finally the cur current backpack weight plus equals that current item weight times the current item total num, which will automatically cast. So if you're worried about mixing your floats with your ints, not a big deal. Finally, we want not the backpack container. Oh yeah, but the backpack item. Oh, which is fine. Right. That's why I put it as a form. Dot set weight to the current backpack weight. And that should be fine. For some reason, I have a while loop in here that checks its weight and refuses to return until that weight is set, which is really bad programming. So we're just going to call that good because I think this is better. Maybe a utility weight would be fine. But I'm not going to do a while loop. So let's just do like half a second or something. Cool. All right, so that should update that weight every single time we change it. Let's go ahead and test that. That was probably this one right here. Hooray! Oh, hey, Foxfi. Using Notepad++, right? Yes, I am. Are you using something to get autocomplete with Papyrus? No, I am literally just getting the autocomplete from any variables that I've already defined. It just knows, like if you've written something before, it goes, oh, that's up there. You can go ahead and autocomplete it here. I think there are like Papyrus autocomplete extensions that you can get, but I've never used them. Have you ever used them? Down, looks good. Picks up, that looks good. Yep, so weight is 5, that's good. Set it down. Let's go ahead and put some stuff in it. Oh, I don't like that helmet or that shield. How much do those weigh? 5 and 12, so I should be seeing 22 pounds when I pick it up. Oh, and that did not work. Interesting. Interesting. That is odd. What's being updated then? Who knows? Okay, let's find out. Oh, cool. Yeah, I also picked up Unity a little while back and started just playing around with it. Made a few of those demo games, and I did some modeling in Blender and whatnot. So that's super cool. Yeah, the C# was a really nice scripting system. Felt pretty powerful. But Papyrus is actually Papyrus is kind of weird. Papyrus has a lot of issues. I guess I shouldn't say it's the most wonderful thing in the world, but as long as you're kind of like it, basically, if you just read online, they'll warn you of things. So like, I don't know if we go into game, is that there's a really nasty function in Papyrus. Request something. Let's see. No, it's not game. There's one that can just completely destroy a save. So you have to be a little careful. But okay. So why is my backpack item? That's a form. That's being sent in. Update. Oh. Well, that's a silly goose mistake. Business goose mistake. Okay, I never actually updated the weight. So when I pick it back up, I can. What is my actual backpack item called? I should probably cast it before I send it in. Where did it go? There it is. Current backpack. As form. Okay, that should work. So when we're picking it up, before we pick it up, we update the weight. We disable, we delete, we do all that stuff, then we finally add it back and then force equip it. Cool. Double check that works. Or, compile it, because you need to. And, oops, test it out. Oh, you're good. You're not bothering me one bit. It actually makes it much nicer because I almost feel like I'm talking to myself in a room, and I go kind of crazy. And I'm like, wait, I'm actually talking to someone. This is nice. If you are using SKC functions and have SKC loaded, can you just use those functions? Yes. Yeah. So if you have SKC and all the scripts, there's a scripts folder as well. If you put those all in your Skyrim directory, you just use them. It's SKSE blows my mind at how amazing it is. It's an absolute technical achievement, and I love using it because it's literally it feels so native. It's unreal. I always forget I'm using SKSE scripts. It's that easy. I have to look up and write code to myself oh yeah, this is an SKSE function. The only reason I do that is if I want to port it to a console, or before SKC 64 comes out, I couldn't port it to SSE either. set it down. Oh, I don't have one first. Okay, that, let's see. I thought I was getting 2 backpacks, whatever. Set it down. Hooray, there it is. Regular backpack. Pick it up. It's a backpack with 5 weight. Now, I'll go ahead and put stuff in it. And of course I made it more difficult. Okay, so 24. It should have a weight of 24. 24, hooray! So now our backpack changes weight when we put stuff in it. Almost there. Make more statics and make all the stuff pop on it. Okie dokie. My music still playing? Oh no, it stopped. Foxfly, do you like the Skyrim music, or should I keep the Skyrim music off? Okay. What do I want to do next? Should I make the statics, or should I? Oh, I should probably put the tent and everything on, huh? Okay, I'll do that. All right, so update auxiliary items down. Have I made instances of those? I think I'm just gonna pop those in and out of existence. Okay. So, my brain is getting fried, so more cheating. And you can look at my cheating too. So, update auxiliary items down. Oh, we see if it's not an. Oh, right, yeah. That was. See, that's something I would have forgotten. So, when you put stuff. Oh, well. We haven't done this yet, but when you take stuff in and out of the backpack, some of these things aren't going to be set false. Like, you're going to be like, oh, it still has a tent, so you don't want to put another tent down if there was already one there. Because, when you set the stuff down, it's going to be like, oh, there's a tent. And you'll set, like, an X in there, and it's like, oh, I still have a tent. Don't place something at me. So make sure that it's not enabled first. And then you just place at the backpack. And I think that's the non-container. I think that's the static backpack. Well, I guess I can just check, huh? Nope, that is the... Oh, yeah. Backpack container. Yes, that's a static. I know this one's a container, but the new one I've done is a static. Okay. So I place at me, I move to, and I set the scale. Oh, that's weird. I don't... Oh, yeah, because I do it there. Okay. Okay. I'm going to do this one first, since it's really easy. Okay. I'll just put these side by side, so you can see them too. Oh, but then that happens, so we're going to... There we go. Oh, wait. Windows has this ability. Except I can't do it over here. Whatever. Okay. Whatever. Don't care. So pick auxiliary items up. So if it has an X, I can has X. Then player backpack container, I think is what that's called now. Is going to remove the X from the container. Okay, so this is the when I set stuff down, it's gonna remove the tent and everything from my inventory and then put it into the backpacks. Likewise, when I pick the stuff up, it's not going to stay in the backpack because then I can't apply those magical effects on Chesko's scripts. So I put it back in the player's inventory. So you always have access to your water skin. You always have access to your cooking pot, your tent, and everything. Which is nice too, because if you're like, oh, I need to chop wood because I'm freezing to death, you can do that. Yeah, this looks good. Okay, so now we just need to copy these and replace the OBJs. Player, and then this is, okay. We need to remove from the container and give to the player ref the cooking pot, and then I think it's cooking pot OBJ. That doesn't sound right. What did I call it? Oh, pot. Okay. Cool. That looks good. And then finally, we have the... Oh, yeah. Okay. This is when... Did I determine... Oh, which tent? No, I don't think I did. Okay. Yeah, here's what we'll do. Remember that which index I deleted? Let's go ahead and undelete that. So int which tent, and that is called, we set this backpack down, but it's here. We actually set the auxiliary items down. That we go, hey, where's my tent? Or do I have a tent? And I go, yes, you has a tent. Then we say, okay, I have that tent. So then, when I go to pick those up, I know which tent I should pick up. And then the tent OBJ gets disabled and deleted. Okay, now we just need to update the auxiliary items down. That does not need to be put there. That only needs to be here. Woo! All right, getting close. Yet again, just cheating. I'm gonna look at this. Okay, so now, oh yeah, this is back to what I was saying. Not only do you need to have a tent, but that object needs to be disabled. Or actually, it's kind of weird. When I was checking tent obj dot is disabled, it would sometimes return false, even though it was disabled, which was weird. Or vice versa, I forget which, doesn't matter. Okie dokie. So, let's just modify this. Okay, so if I has a tent, and the tent obj is not enabled, we are going to enable it. And I think that's... oh, I haven't made those statics yet. Derp. Okay. Alright. We need to go make those statics. Oh, wait, yes, I have. I just haven't put those into my script. There they are. And then cooking pot and tent. Okay, there they are. So now, if I should probably keep my ordering consistent. So we do that, and then that. Okay, so if I have an X, it's enabled. XOBJ place at me, not that, because it has a new name, but this one. XOBJ move to player backpack. That's no longer the right one. It is. It is. Backpack OBJ. Okay, so place at me the static XOBJ move, and all that does is set its rotation correctly. Sitting backpack scale. Yep, cool. Then has pot OBJ is enabled. We need to change that name. Cooking pot static. Pot OBJ move true. Pot OBJ settings are cool. Then this one's slightly more tricky. Tent is enabled. Tent place at me. No. I need to move that one. Okay. 10 OBJ, move 2 back. Oh yeah, and this one I changed slightly. So it oh right. Yeah, so I move it along the axis of the vector between the player and the backpack. Because if you were to do exactly Chesko's geometry, it would be sitting or standing on top of its tent, which doesn't look stable at all. So what I have it do instead is look like the tent has rolled under it and then it's leaning on the tent. So that's why the move 2 is a little more pathological looking. But that looks good. And I've already removed the item correctly. When have I removed that? Right there. When do I add it back? I don't think I'm adding it back. When did I do that in my old script? That's the static, so let's remove item. No, this totally worked before. Why? Oh, I wonder if I changed it. Which tent removed? Right, there it is. Oh, come on. Oh, you know what I should look for instead is where the add items are. Wait, where on earth is that? Ah, I did it there? That's a, no. This was working before, so everything was working fine. Oh, right. Yeah, I don't care about that. Is it seriously nowhere? Oh, no, no. Okay, right. I know what's going on here. This remove item is from the or, in this case, our backpack, back into the player's inventory. I already said that, but it's getting late. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. Okay, so pick up the tent. It's right here. It's removing from the container, putting back into the player refs. Okay, that should work. Oh, not there. Here we go. So now we recompile, and we will need to change. Oops, that's not what I'm looking for. We will need to change the. Yep, that's to be expected. Variable has pot is undefined. Oh, weird. Player action quest 158. 158. Has pot is undefined. Oh, I wonder if I did has cooking pot. Yeah. Let's just. Has that been used yet? Let's do has pot. Cool. Oh, you bastard. Alright. Creation kit crashed, but that's okay. Because we save often. Okay. Yeah. Cool, yeah, thanks, Foxfi. Yeah, hopefully you learned something new, or you saw a different way of doing something or whatnot. Yeah, good luck on that mod. Yeah, like I said, I'll email you, and then you can email me back when yours is uploaded to Nexus, and then I can write a patch for it. So yeah, thanks again. Oh, actually, if you want to wait 2 seconds, I will have the maybe the tent. Well, no, that's fine. You should take off because I'm probably gonna need to write a batch file and whatnot. So, cool. Have a good one. Okay, so all of those are filled. Now we're gonna go back to our batch file. Oh, I did totally. Okay, cool. Everything's fine. Nothing's broken. And I just need to add the miscellaneous objects. So miscellaneous object, we will add, let's do a large fur tent. Oh, no, that's not what I 06, 01A, 348. Cool. And I want one of those. Let's go ahead and take a cooking pot too. Player.add item 06 019 849. And lastly, we'll do a weapon of Axe 1. Two F, 2F. Oh, yeah, 4. Yep. Okay, cool. And for anyone watching, if it's only zeros in front, you don't need to write them for your consoling in Skyrim. All right, let's test this out. Not COC. Bad PC. Okie dokie. Then I equip them. Hooray! Look how beautiful that is. Okay. Then we put it on the ground, and look at that. They are all in place. Back, down, up, down. When I look inside, oh, it's not adding. Huh, it's not removing that from the player, which is fine. It's good to know. But it is updating the weight. Still, hopefully. 14 plus 5 should be 19. 19, cool. Alright, so it's mostly working. Okay, let's see where we're going wrong here. Okay, so when I set the backpack down, doing all the math, set auxiliary items down. When I do that, oh, I'm totally not. Oh, cool. Easy. I'm going to do that in here. Luckily, this is going to be super trivial to do, because all I need to do is rearrange these. Okay, this one looks like that. And lastly, this one is that. Boom, that should do it. don't think we changed that one, but that's okay. Alright, no new properties have been added, so we don't have to recompile. Or we don't have to save. Okay, so we set it down. Look at that. Everything's appearing nicely. Question is... Cool, so it took it out of my inventory, and if I look in here, it is all in there. Now if I put it back on me... Haha, okay, I've done one thing wrong, but everything's in my inventory. The thing that I've done wrong, I think everything's in my... Yep, okay, cool. The one thing I didn't do correctly is I am updating the weight before I take the stuff out, and then I'm taking the stuff out. So I just need to change that, and then we're done. Well, with that. Okie dokie. Here. So I just need to go here. So pick it up, update the weight, pick auxiliary items up first. Yep. So all I need to do is move this. Up here. And everything should work fine, but I always like to spread out things related to weight. Because if you equip something, or you bring something in before you change its weight, it doesn't get updated, possibly correctly. All right. Okay, everything's down. Everything's still leaving inventories, changing inventories correctly. But now, I'm going to pick it all up. The weight is still 5. Everything's back in my inventory. Put it down. It's in there. Now, let's go and add some stuff. Pick it up. It's updated, but not with that stuff. Perfect. Cool. And everything works. Alright, so now that I'm the only one looking at my stream, I think I will stop this for the time being. Maybe stitch together the movie, cut some things down, maybe be back now, maybe be back tomorrow. Not sure. One thing I'm going to do, probably off screen, is I'm going to make the statics for all the backpacks. So make not just, you know, black, brown, and white, but all the ones with the different well, whatever they're called, charms on them, amulets. And then I will populate those in somewhere here. So instead of just always picking black backpack to go on the ground, it updates to be whatever backpack you found here. Replace that with the loop index. So that'll be trivial. It'll just take a little bit of time. Not too much, but whatever. And after that, all we have left to do is, so all of that's done. There's a couple things with versioning, maybe changing a couple things for Requiem, but I'm going to do that on my own. I don't think I'm going to record that, unless people really want it, but I don't think they do. Campfire. It always assumes Campfire now. Oh yeah, when you start the game, you want to remove the backpack, change its weight, and then put it back on. I could actually almost do that right now, but I'll do that later. Just because the weight change does not persist between game saves. So what you do is you just take it off. The objects in the container do stay. The reference or the references to those objects stay in the container. So then you go, oh, update that weight. Tell me what the weight is, and then I'll put that back on. And then yeah, the only thing we have after that is building an MCM, so people can choose certain properties. And then this last part where if I go into my backpack and I remove the axe or something, that it updates the 3D models, so it removes the axe from that and then adds it to your inventory, and vice versa. So you add it back and it does that. So that's all we have left. I might add a couple bells and whistles, a few things for people to turn off and on. Like one thing I had before, and actually might still be in here. No, maybe it was this one. Yeah, so when you add an item, if you're just like out picking flowers, because that's what a lot of people in Skyrim do, then it can go directly into your bag. Now, of course, it has an issue where it doesn't update the weight correctly, so I'm not sure exactly how I want to fix that yet. But it could always just like unequip and then re-equip or something. I don't know. But yeah, that was going to be one idea. Another idea was being able to access the container while it's on your back. I don't think I'm going to do that, but I might just test it out anyway. So I'm not sure if I'll record that, but those are what's left. Yeah. So for anyone watching, thanks for watching, and I hope you learned something.